How's everybody doing today? She is Monday morning, and I hope a lot of you people played some Ozzy Osbourne music this weekend. And when I say Ozzy Osbourne music, I mean Black Sabbath as well. Because that's where he started. Last night, I finally found an album that I was looking for. I found two frickin' albums that I already owned and I actually bought this weekend. Because I was like, where the hell are they? They didn't cost me a lot of money, which is weird. I figured they'd be through the roof by now. But I played Black Sabbath, which is their first album, the very first song on Black Sabbath. I think I put it on my Facebook. I couldn't put it on YouTube because that shit gets monetized. And that was my Sunday night, and that was my final song. And I don't know. I took it pretty hard with regards to Ozzy Osbourne's death. Shed a few tears, this old guy, 50 years old. I've been with Ozzy since 1982, which is, I don't know, I was 8 years old. I was born in 74, so 82 puts me at 8 years old. I'd heard it on a boombox. Buddy had a tape. I believe it was Crazy Train, which is Blizzard of Oz. It very well could have been Diary of a Madman. I don't know. But it was just like we weren't listening to that sort of stuff at home. We just weren't. I'd never even heard that stuff before. And it immediately captivated me. Because like when you're 8 years old, you either don't give a shit or it's the biggest deal going. Like, it's like, holy shit, like, what is that? What am I hearing? You know, and my cousin was a huge Iron Maiden fan. I'm pretty sure he loved Black Sabbath. He loved all this stuff. And it was only later in life when I could actually afford music where, you know, I actually picked up a Black Sabbath album. I mean, I was at the point where I was so young, you know, maybe even 14. 14's young without the internet, you know, to even know who was who and what was what. And discovering music was like you watched MTV, you know what I mean? And like videos. Ozzy Osbourne was notorious for making some of the coolest videos. So was Tool. So was Metallica. You know, like MTV, the music video, like that is something the kids of the internet, the kids of today will miss forever. They'll also miss having no phone versus having a phone, because you can get a lot more accomplished without a phone. Well, that's not necessarily true in the hustle and bustle of this world, but it is definitely true in the I want to go ride my bike and build a jump and skateboard and all kinds of shit sort of thing in life. Anyway, I played Master Reality. Couple people on Facebook complained about, oh my god, I could barely get through that album, blah blah blah. What do you mean? Children of the Grave was some of the biggest evolution in Bill Ward's life. You know, that's where he was really evolving. You know, other people are like, oh yeah, I love the new Ozzy, I never really got into Black Sabbath. And that's fine, because Black Sabbath was different than Ozzy. Ozzy was an upbeat kind of a guy, and Black Sabbath played scary music. 666, right on the Sabbath Bloody Sabbath album cover. The gematria dictates that means Satan, Lucifer, or whatever you want to call him. The bad guy. If you know the gematria, then you know that God equals 100. And that is the Jewish number system from 0 to 10 that basically dictates the value of a letter in Hebrew. So they've got a sense of humor, because 401 equals the gold standard, and well, everyone in the United States that's got any money or is saving up for anything has a 401k. So there you go. And they control the banking system, so I guess it's the right thing to do, call it the 401k. I was blown away by the love and respect that the whole family got on and Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, especially YouTube. I find there's a lot more genuine people on YouTube. Because there was a lot of AI fake bullshit on Facebook and on Instagram, and these are Sharon's last words, or this Kelly Osbourne has come out, and it's just all horseshit. You know what I mean? And that's the biggest problem with social media today. And that's why I've been looking for a platform, even other than YouTube. Other than the fact that I love YouTube for reviews, I love YouTube for music, I love YouTube for, learning things, and like YouTube's just spectacular, but, there's Patreon, and I was Googling that last night, and that costs a lot of money. More money than I'm willing to spend anyway, for the now. But I was just overwhelmed by the love that Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne got, and the other bands that played it is Back to the Beginning, because that resurfaced after 2 weeks or 3 weeks now, I guess. And Youngblood. Well, if I was Youngblood, I would be doing exactly what Youngblood is doing. And, Ozzy Osbourne has given him a window of opportunity, and he is taking that opportunity. Now, some people can use a different word, and that's called exploiting something. I do not believe that Youngblood is doing that. I believe that he's capitalizing on it, not exploiting it. But Ozzy Osbourne did give him that opportunity, and I don't think that he's offended the family in any way, shape, or form. And he's also said that he's going to sing Changes at every single concert for the rest of his life. And you know what? Do it, man. Do it. Do what you say. Be a man of your word. Just do it. I would. I think that's deadly. Totally a good idea. And this old guy was pretty emotional. I mean, I lost my dad when I was 15, so I listened to. He was the one who bought me my first stereo, and I had enough money saved up that I could buy a CD player, and I could start buying CDs after he died in 1990. So my CD collection started in the 90s, and I don't know. I was going through. I got like triplicates of some Ozzy Osbourne CDs and remasters and this and that and the other thing. And I've got some Black Sabbath swirl records, like UK swirl. And I'll tell you right now, with an Ortophone Blue, God, they sound good. They sound really good. Because like the colored vinyl, I'm going to be on the same page as the audiophiles and say, I don't think that colored vinyl sounds as good as black vinyl. But I could be wrong, because I found that Diary of a Madman was either maybe not as recorded or mastered as well as some. But then again, I'm fucking contradicting myself, because if you throw on the UK Swirl Sabbath album, it's going to give you bass. And if you throw on a CBS or a Sony record, colored Diary of a Madman, for an example, I think it's red. I've seen them in blue. I've seen them in blue swirl. I've just seen them all different colors, especially this weekend, because people were just putting them out there all over Facebook. And I don't know, I think that once we started going digital in like the 80s, the records just, I don't know, they had a lot to learn about pressing records again. It was like relearning how to press a record. And so if you take like Fear Inoculum by Tool, which I have just about every Tool album, but I find Fear Inoculum was recorded probably the best, and I know there's some snap crackle pops in the actual digital recording, and there's just no bullshit about it. It just is what it is. And I love that, because it's not only in the streaming, it's in the CD, it's also in the record. So I know that it's not a mistake. It's just part of the digital recording. And I love it. And some of it gets revealed a bit more with a different DAC chip. Some of it gets revealed a little bit more with a different cartridge. And some of it gets revealed a little bit more if you're using Tidal or you're using, say, Apple Music, which Tidal is my preferred go-to. And I think it should be everybody's because you can't beat the sound. They say Cobus sounds better. I don't know. I think Tidal, I mean, if there's something better than Tidal, well, then it's QLED versus OLED. You know what I mean? In the television market. And really good QLED can almost, well, I don't know. That's another argument. But I think that old analog recording stuff, original albums, original Black Sabbath albums, not remastered shit. Because I have some remastered stuff and it's just not as good as the original stuff I have. And I'm so glad to have that original stuff. I'm so glad I bought it when I did. I'm so glad I found it where I found it. Yeah. A lot of people called me this weekend and was like, hey, what are you up to? I haven't heard from you. Well, I spent the weekend. Well, I didn't spend the whole weekend. I had a lot of other shit to do. But I spent my free time on the weekend listening to vinyl. Listening to some of the rarer recordings. Like Spiders and One Up the B-Side by Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath. Anyway, you guys have a good day. Don't mind me, I'm a bit of a storyteller. And just because I'm progressive hi-fi, that doesn't mean that I'm just into the gear. It's the music that got me into the gear. So it's always all about the music. It really is always all about the music. Just is.